Oh my God. And Jesus. What a life. What a life. Me that I used to live in luxury. Me that I used to live in riches. What a life. My God. My God. Yes, child of God. I know you're probably wondering, why does today's message has to start with what looks like a drama of me carrying a block on my head? But you see, our topic today says, God has disappointed me. And you see, our text is taken from the Gospel of John chapter 11. It is important to understand this. In that story of John chapter 11, we saw a young man called Lazarus. Then we saw the sisters, Mary and Martha. This family used to be a very wonderful friends of Jesus. Whenever Jesus needs to come down to Judah, that is probably where he eats and wines and plays with these same persons. Unfortunately, one day, Lazarus was sick. And a message was sent to Jesus that his best friend, Lazarus, was sick. That he should come and pray for him. Did Jesus actually go to pray for Lazarus? No. He behaved like he didn't even understand what the messengers had delivered or had said to him. Somehow, Lazarus eventually died. But the Bible says that after the death of Lazarus and his burial, that 4 days later, Jesus called upon his disciples and decided to go back to Judah. And one would have asked himself, what will a best friend like Jesus going to do at this point in Judah, having lost his own best friend? Was he going there to go and give them excuses? Was he probably going there to go and tell them, oh, sorry, I know I could have done something? Was he going there to go and console them? Was he going there to go and tell them stories? What exactly was Jesus going to do in Galilee? I mean, in Judah. But hear me. To Martha, Jesus had disappointed them. To Mary, Jesus had disappointed them. To everyone in Judah, within that surrounding Jesus, was a disappointment to them. But you see one thing, is that God might not come when you expected him to come. God might not show up when you are deeply in sorrow. God might not show up when you prayed and fasted and asked him to show up in your matter. But for the fact that God didn't show up at that particular moment, doesn't mean that God has disappointed you. It doesn't mean God will never show up. It doesn't mean that God will change from being God. He will always be God. For the fact that he didn't show up when Lazarus was sick, doesn't mean that when he showed up, he didn't do anything. When he eventually showed up, Martha said to him, how I wish you had been here when we sent for you. But eventually you were not here. And as it stands now, our brother is dead. But the Bible says that Jesus looked at Martha and said to him, I am the resurrection and I am life. Even now, you shall see the power of God in action. And somehow, like play, the Bible said that he told them, take me to where he was buried. Eventually, Jesus got there. He cried out in a loud voice, Lazarus, Lazarus. And the Bible says that the dead man, though he was dead, but could still hear the voice of Jesus because he was the living and he was the resurrection. He was a life-giving spirit. He was a life-giving oxygen that is needed for Lazarus to rise back and live again. And he is the resurrection that is needed to command Lazarus out of the grave. Hear me, child of God. Are you feeling like I felt today? Are you feeling like God has disappointed you? Are you feeling right now like there is no hope anymore? Do you feel right now that heaven has closed up against you? Is your destiny messed up? Has your marriage been messed up? Has your health condition been messed up? Are you right now feeling rejected, disappointed? Do you feel like God has disappointed you? I came to tell you this moment that God has not disappointed you. God cannot disappoint you. God will never disappoint you. For the fact that it is the way it is today is not the reason to believe that God has disappointed you. I came to tell you that there is time for everything. Today you may be sick, but I tell you the truth, it is just today. You are not going to be sick all your life. God knows why. He made the night and the day. He created the night and the day so that we can understand that there is time for everything. So that we can understand that there will be a time for and seasons for every human being living over here. Hear me, my dear friends. Today I bring you good tidings. Wherever you are, wherever you may be, I came to tell you that God is not yet through with you. God is not yet through with you. God is not yet through with you. You are a project in the making. God is working on bringing you to where He wants you to be. And when He is through with you, you will know indeed that God does not disappoint. God bless you. See you next time.